People often mistake kindness for weakness, but that's far from the truth. Many struggle to be kind. It's easier to be selfish, cold, or mean. But here's what they forget. A kind person makes others feel seen. A kind person becomes the breath of fresh air the world forgot to give. Kindness lingers. It makes people feel safe. It feels like home. And in a world that's already heavy, a kind heart becomes shelter. Will you join me in being kind? Hello, my friends. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the cast with me today. We are going to pour the cupcake mold that I made, that one of my subscribers sent me, that everyone is so excited to see, including me. But I have had some of my friends tell me that they've poured it already and it just didn't turn out so great for them. So we're going to walk through a few reasons why that may be, and we're going to cast this 3 different ways. Let's see. Yeah, 3 different ways. So this video is going to be super long for me, but like that for you. We're going to start off using my deep pour resin by Bond Crafter. And we want this cupcake to be clear. In all of our tests here, we want it to be clear so we can see what's going on and why it's going on, right? So this cupcake has a lot of facets in it and some of those little rhinestones, which is giving us that diamond look effect. And that's going to draw bubbles to it. It's a bubble magnet. So we're going to try to walk through some ways we can fix that or what we can do to get a better turnout on our cupcake. That's why we're going to do it 3 different ways. First way is going to be using deep pour. Second way is going to be using 1-to-1 epoxy resin. Third way is going to be in my pressure pot. Okay, I want to bring out these rhinestones in here, like the little cupcake sprinkles. And we're going to do that using Let's Resin's neon powders. These are beautiful, brushed in a mold. I don't know if you've tried it before, but I'm going to show you how beautiful it can be. And it's really beautiful if you back it with like a black or a white, which we can't do here because we want it to be clear. But yeah, I want these sprinkles to be very bright and vibrant. Very fun and colorful. All right, so let's go ahead and do that right quick. But I did want to show you this before I close it out. This is my tablet. Let me see if I can get it a little bit brighter so y'all can see it. Well, it's all the way up. Okay, I go to resin calculator. Right there, I type in resin calculator. And it's resincalculator.com. And it brings up a little calculator here. See it? And it's got, let me move my video. I'm watching true crime while I clean up a few things in my craft room. See right here, it says 1-to-1 resin, 2-to-1, or 3-to-1. Yes, there is a 3-to-1 epoxy resin. I've never used a 3-to-1 before, but they do have them. A 2-to-1 is, that's enough complication for me. So much so that I have to pull up a resin calculator. So what I do is, it's easier for me to stay on even numbers, right? Because if you type in a number here and you get an odd calculation, and what I mean by that is, let me show you. Let's say we need 8 ounces of resin, right? So I'm going to type in 8 here. And we're going to click the 2-to-1. Now it's bringing us up how much resin we need and how much hardener we need, right? Well, that's 5.33 and 2.67. Who wants to be figuring all that out? Not me. So I try to get as close to even as I can to where I just have maybe a little bit of resin left over. So this mold right here, I'm guessing, might hold about 6 ounces, right? So if we type in 6 ounces, look what we get. Even numbers. 4 ounces of resin, 2 ounces of hardener. Can y'all see that? So that's what I want. But what if it's over 6 ounces? Then we're going to be in trouble. So let's do 7. Nope, we didn't get nothing even there. So let's bump it to 8. Nope, we didn't get any there. Let's bump it to 9. Now we're back to even numbers. 6 ounces of resin and 3 ounces of hardener. So I'm just going to get another mold and put it on the side, and we can fill the extra with that. That way we'll make sure we have enough and we don't waste anything. I wanted to show you that. That's just a little tip and trick I just thought I would share with you, in case you have trouble figuring out how much you need using a 2-to-1 resin, like I do. Okay, I'm going to use these colors over here that I have out. And I've got my little brushes here, and then this is just my swatch right here where I clean my brushes. So I'm going to get started. I'll put you on a time lapse while I do this because it's going to take me a minute. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Okay, I got everything brushed in, but now I have some cleanup to do. Yeah, there's a little bit of a mess in there. So I'm just going to use these brushes here with some alcohol. And what I like to do is just take this alcohol and spritz it onto my mat, so I'm not constantly spraying it. And I just dip my Q-tip in there, and then I just start cleaning up. And that way I can just dip real quick right back in there. And it just makes it easier and faster to clean up. All right, I'll meet you back when I'm finished, because I know you don't want to watch this. Okay, I got it all cleaned up. So now we're going to mix up our resin and get it poured. Okay, I have my cup right here. And we're going to do 6 ounces of resin and 3 ounces of hardener. And I'm going to pour them into this cup and mix. So, we're going to get our resin out first. And I've got it right here. This is my resin, and it's the Bond Crafter Deep Pour. So we're going to pour up to 6 ounces. Right there. And then I'm going to pour that over into this cup. Now we're going to do 3 ounces of the hardener. So now I've got the hardener jug. And we're going to go to 3 ounces. Whoop! Right there. Okay, now we're going to pour that over into here. Okay, it stopped, so I'm going to lift the wand up out of there. Then I'm going to scrape around my cup, and I'm going to stir again. Okay, we have our deep pour all mixed up, and ready to pour. Should we put a little bit of glitter in it? Nah, let's don't. That might mess up everything. So let's go ahead and pour. And I'm just going to pour a little bitty bit and let it make its way down into that first little rhinestone at the bottom. Okay, now it filled it up. And I got to stop right there because I see we have a bubble right here. I'm going to have to pay close attention to these little rhinestones. So what we're going to do is that little bit of resin I have in there, I'm going to go ahead and let it travel its way and get in all the pockets of the little rhinestones. All right, I'm going to stop again. Make sure we don't have any bubbles. We got one right here. Get it out. Okay, I got it. I got one right there. Come on, buddy. Okay, we're looking good. Let's go ahead and fill it up. All right. It looks good. We're going to let it go ahead and cure. Set it over here. Get you back out. I'm going to set it over here. We got some bubbles right there, but we'll pop them later on. I'm going to let all of them make their way to the top. This is a deep pour resin, so it won't be ready for... it might be solid in 24 hours, but we're not going to demold it until 72. All right, I've got this mold right here, which is my little purse mold, and I've done this one in the pressure pot. So I want to see how this one's going to do with deep pour, and I put my little charm down in there. That's my little charm, and I'm going to turn it upside down because we're working backwards in this mold. So I'm going to set it in there how I want it. And now we're going to go ahead and pour. Well, I want some color in this. So, and the good thing about using deep pour is you don't have to rush. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. And then we're going to pick a color out. Let's do my Cast and Craft Transparent Green. I put 7 drops in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in it. Let's use some of the Super Sparkle Green. This is a reflection glitter. Beautiful glitter, and it's from Laura's Art Corner. If you'd like to try this glitter out, it's my favorite collection in her shop. I will put her link down below and my discount code up top for you. So you can save some money while you're there. I don't know about you, but I love a discount. Yes, that's beautiful. Can y'all see that? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it makes me think I should have put glitter in our cupcake. But I'm not going to do that. All right, I need to get this out right quick because that loop down at the bottom, this right here, I need to make sure no bubbles get caught in it. So I'm going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol down in there. And then we're going to go ahead and slowly fill that up until it comes out the other end. And it did. See there? And I might have put too much in here. All right, I got to find some more things to put this in, you guys. We still have quite a bit left. Let's see if we have enough left to make another tree stump for my half moon piece. Yes, let's do that. And we won't have to rush because this is deep pour resin, so I can figure out exactly what I want to do here. Let's pour this right here. I made this mold. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for this, so if we have any left over, then we'll fill it up. But if not, then it's just going to have to be like this. Okay, I got it brushed in every place that I wanted it. And I'm going to add a little bit more of this ethereal party. I want it a little bit darker. And I don't know if I'll be able to get my plug out of there because I didn't have a chance to pour any resin in there for it to lock onto. And that's not level down there. We're going to throw the plug in there and see if we can get it. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to spritz some alcohol in there. And let's go ahead and drop some of this resin down in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my plug in. Hopefully it will take. I'm not sure. If I could get something to hold pressure on it, it definitely would. Okay, we do have some left over. Alcohol on everything. Pop any surface bubbles. And then we will demold all of these in 2 days, 72 hours. Our pieces are cured. And I forgot to film it after 24 hours. But I did check it. I just forgot to come back in here and film it. And it was still had a lot of movement to it. It wasn't like water like it was when we started. You could really tell that it was working to cure, is what I'm saying. So it's at the fully cured stage. So let's get them demolded and see what they look like. I'm going to go put some soap and water in this one probably because it's going to be hard to get out if I don't. Yeah, I'm going to go, I'm going to go put some water in it and some soap. Okay. I had to go run some water in it with some soap. Instead of distorting your piece and sitting there fighting with it, just go run some water in it, some cold water with some soap, and it'll come right out of there. I didn't do my silicone oil because then it makes it real slippery, and then I'm not able to get it out as fast as I'd like to. Oh, I like that a lot better for our half moon. Look at that. That is so cute. And see, here's where it locks in your piece right there and holds it. And here's our half moon. Look at that. Oh my word, that is so cute. I love it, love it, love it. Super cute. Isn't that just the cutest? Yes, that matches and looks a lot better. All right, I'm going to get it off of that stand and give the stand time to cure because it was leaning back quite a lot. And it's supposed to be setting up like that because it's still a little soft. Okay, I wonder if I'm going to have to take this to the kitchen sink too. I'm pretty sure I am. Yep. I'm going to have to take this to the kitchen sink as well to get it out. So we'll go ahead and demold these right quick. This was my little purse. Come on out of there. Oh, it's not wanting to release. It's still not hard enough yet, you guys. I broke the handle off of that. Yep. I did. Oh, pooey. And that was going to be so cute. Well, not actually. That's supposed to be sitting down further. So, I'm not too mad about that. I just don't want to mess that cupcake up. And you just pick off that a little bit of resin right there. All of it comes off. That's just where I cut it down the side there. See, it's a real thin layer of resin. But it comes right off and you'll never even know it's there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now this one has a little bit of the green mixed in it, I think. I think this is the one that has the blue and the green. I'm not sure. And they're different. They're not the same. I just keep my little rubber bands on there. There we go. There we go. I cleaned it up a little bit. See there, you cannot tell that the mold was cut down that side. Cannot tell at all. I love these molds that I made. They're so pretty. Let me know what you would do with them. I'd love to hear it. And then I made another one of my little purses. I don't know what I did with the other one. Where did it go? Oh, it's up here. That's the first one I made. I just made this mold though. I put alcohol ink in the back. It's cute. Turned out cute. Yep, I'm going to clean the back up, sand it down a little bit, and then it'll be ready to throw a keychain on it. Super cute. Super cute. All right, we're going to give this one about 6-7 more hours and then we'll demold it. See you later. Okay, I had to take this to the sink and I had to get my husband to pull while I held the mold to get this out. But here's how it turned out. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Super, super cute. And this is with deep pour. Bond Crafters Deep Pour Epoxy Resin. Isn't that crystal clear, my friends? See there? You don't need a pressure pot or, you know, anything fancy. You just need patience because it does take a while for this to cure. So this is with deep pour epoxy resin. Bond Crafters. I will throw their link below and a discount code you can use up above here in case you want to give this epoxy resin a try. Now we're going to do this again, and I thought we'd do it 3 ways, but we're only going to do it 2 because we all know what it's going to look like coming out of the pressure pot. It's going to be just like this, crystal clear. So we're just going to do it with epoxy resin this time. I've chose some different colors to brush in. I'm using my Saya Special Effects micas. I chose the Midnight Blue, Mountain God, Jersey Devil, and Lavish Party. So I'm going to get those brushed in right quick in the cupcake, and then we will pour regular 1-to-1 epoxy resin and see how it turns out. And I wanted to show you right quick, this is the original and this is ours. Very, very cute cupcake. Okay, I got it all cleaned up in there. But you know what would be cute in here? And I wish I would have thought about it before I brushed my mold in already. These cute little beads. They would be so cute placed inside of there. You could probably fit about 2 or 3 in each hole. And the very top one right here, you could fit quite a few in there. And that would be so cute. Yep. But I can't put any in there now. Because if I was to load that one up with some, then they would start floating. So, yeah. I'll have to try that next time. Or maybe one of you all can try it. Because I know a few of you have the same mold. So maybe you can try that in yours. I think that would be so cute. What else would you put down in the little rhinestones? Let me know. But you'd have to use like a 1-hour Promise epoxy. Or you could use whatever epoxy you've got. And drop these in and let it cure or get to a real sticky state. I wouldn't wait for it to fully cure. I just let it get to like a syrupy state where they won't move. And then finish pouring your mold. So what we're going to have to do this time to try to get it to come out looking decent is we're going to put our resin in my Let's Resin bubble remover machine and try to remove all of the bubbles and then pour it. Okay, our resin ran through the Let's Resin bubble remover machine. Now I'm going to have to spritz some alcohol in here. And I can't get much in there because of our mica powder that we have brushed in there. So I'm just going to pour some of this and let it go down into the bottom down there. And now we're going to go up each tier and make sure we don't get any bubbles. All right, we're going to let those bubbles just keep on rising. I'm not using my heat gun because if I do, it's going to speed up our process. So I'm not using that heat gun. I'm just going to let those bubbles keep rising, and we'll just keep spritzing them as soon as they get on up here to the top. All right, I will see you back in 24 hours. Okay, this is ready to demold, but I cannot get it out. So I'm going to have to take it to the sink and get it out. So I will be back. Okay, I went and I got it out, and here it is. And we have quite a few bubbles in it, which I suspected. But I don't want to settle on this so quickly. I want to give this one more shot. I think we should have poured this in 2 pours. So I'm going to do it one more time with my Bond Crafter epoxy resin, the 1-to-1, the part A and the part B. And we're going to pour it, half of it, and then 2 hours later or 3 hours later, we're going to do the other half. Okay? And see if we get a better turnout. And that will let you know if you can do that with your resin and get a better turnout. I want to help you out as much as possible pouring this cute little cupcake. So as many times as we have to do it to get it right, let's do it. So far, the deep pour resin has been our best turnout by far, other than the original glass cupcake. And it's just unnecessary to do the pressure pot because we know that's going to come out crystal clear. So let's pour it one more time, and we're going to do it in 2 different pours, okay? I also found some new cookie cutters at Ollie's when I went to Ollie's. And I love these cookie cutters because they just work wonderful for making inlays. You can seal them on the bottom because they're flat right there with your glue, and they just work really well. But my thing is, I really like the shape of them. Aren't they so cute? This is the last heart inlays I made. So I'm wondering about making a set of these. Aren't they cute? I love that shape, that heart shape. So I'm going to make a few in several different sizes. I'd love to have a set and some plugs of these to put in coasters in the center. And I'd love to have a set of these 4 in this size as plugs. And then this size and this size. So yeah, I want some in all of them. They're so cute. So let me know what you think about that. Do you like this inlay better or one of these? I've got a little bit of resin here, so we're going to try that way that I mentioned before with these little colorful balls. And I'm going to have to place those in first so they won't float. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And I'm going to spritz some alcohol in here so hopefully we don't get a bubble inside. So I'm going to pour a little bit of resin down here in the center. And then go ahead and get these, some of these in the center there. Just get me a scoop out of there. And drop them right on in there. think we're going to need some more because that rhinestone on the top is pretty big. Okay, hopefully that'll do it. Now I need to go around each little rhinestone area, hole, opening, and drop one of these beads in. I'm just going to put one in each of them. I'm not going to try to do a bunch. I'm just going to do one. That way we can kind of see what this will look like. Okay, I'm not going to make you watch me do this because it's going to take me a while. I just wanted to show you what I was doing and how I was doing it. And then after this gets like to a syrup state, like real sticky, but it doesn't have movement to it anymore, then they won't be able to float on us. So we could go ahead and pour our first layer, because we're going to do this one in 2 different pours. Okay? All right, I'm going to put the rest of these in, and then I'll meet you back when it's time to pour our first layer, which will probably be about 2 hours from now, or maybe 3, because the least amount of resin you pour, the longer it takes to cure. So it may take it longer to get to that syrupy state. All right, see you later. All right, we're ready to go ahead and pour. I've mixed up my resin. I put you on a time lapse while I ran it through my Let's Resin bubble remover machine. So now we're going to spritz some alcohol down in here. Hopefully we won't get any bubbles. All right, so let's go ahead and pour. And I'm not going all the way up. Remember, we're just doing halfway. Wait a minute, I see something in there, so let me reach in there and get it out right quick. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop right there. That looks about halfway. Yep. So I'm going to take my heat gun, run it through there right quick, pop some of those surface bubbles, which they're not popping. So let's just spritz some alcohol in there. That'll pop them. And I'm just going to check it in about 15-20 minutes and spritz some more alcohol in there if I need to, and just keep an eye on it. And then we'll go ahead and top the mold off in about 2 hours. See you later. We are ready to go ahead and do our next step. I think I'm a little later than I wanted to be. I got editing my other video and I just forgot all about it. But I can still poke down in that resin, so it is not fully cured. All right, I've ran my resin through my Let's Resin debubbler. Oops. Something fell. I don't want to look right now. Okay, I'm going to spritz some alcohol in my mold here. And then we're going to go ahead and pour in our resin. It could use a little more, but I'm not going to worry about it. This is just for a test. Okay, I'm going to use my heat gun just a little bit. Don't want to keep that heat on there real long because you don't want it to cure faster. You want to give those bubbles time to rise up to the top and make it out of the mold. Or make it out of the resin. Alright, I'm going to spritz a little bit more alcohol on the top of that. And then I'm going to check it again in about 15 minutes. And then I will see you when it's time to demold it. See you later. This is ready. Something in there. So we're going to go ahead and demold it. I have to take it to the sink once again and pop it out. Because it's really hard to get that top stone out. And then I have a new mold here that I made. It's a little cup with a straw at the top, and it's a keychain. So I thought I would demold it and we could take a look at it together. Alright, I'm going to go put some soap in here and some water, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That's our cupcake. And then that's the little keychain. But I have, you see that on top there? That's from not washing the soap really good out of my mold. Yep, because I was squirting soap in the side of there. And I don't know if I washed it out, to be honest. I really don't. But that's what that is. And it's not as bad as this one. But it's still some bubbles. See them? And I don't know what that is. I have no idea. I tried to pinpoint it in the mold. Oh, I see what happened. This right here is really sharp. And when I was tugging on it, trying to get it out of the mold, because I didn't pour it all the way up, and I should have, but I didn't. So when I was twisting it, trying to get it out of the mold, this right here was cutting the edge of my mold. Look at that. So don't do what I did. Make sure you fill that mold all the way up to the top, because I just damaged this mold really bad. Yep. I do like the little balls, colorful balls that we put in there though. Isn't that cute? I like that better than this. I think it looks so cute. Here's the little keychain that I done. It's a cute little cup. It's got a little tip for the straw. And then it's got your little keychain holder right there. So if y'all want to see this in my shop, let me know. But it's not going to be worth it just to buy this. Because, you know, you're not going to want to pay shipping and then plus this. It's just not going to be worth it. You know, the shipping would be probably around the same price as the mold. But what you could do is, let's say you bought a cupcake mold and you wanted this too. It would be easier to throw this with that, and then you're only paying shipping for, you're only paying one shipping fee, and you're getting two molds. You see what I'm saying? So let me know if you'd like to see this in my shop, and you'd like to do it that way. That might be a neat way to get some of my smaller molds too, because I'm going to be throwing some smaller ones in there as well. So that's that one. I made another one too, and I put a little bitty tiny keychain on it, but this one had a lot of bubbles in it because it's so faceted. So I poured this one in 2 different pours, and it didn't come out with any bubbles. So that was definitely the way to go on that. See there, I don't have any on there on the lid. Super cute, isn't it? Okay, so all in all, let me tell you what I learned here, and hopefully you can take this with you and decide on what you want to do. If I purchase this mold right here, I would definitely use deep pour epoxy resin to pour it. Deep pour is going to give you your best turnout. Or you could, if you don't want to try deep pour and you don't have deep pour, then I would maybe pour this in 4 different pours. Yes, 4 different pours. That's going to give those bubbles a really, really good chance to make it out of that resin before they cure in there. And then, when you're getting the cupcake out of the mold, I would use silicone oil instead of soap, because you just run the risk of not getting all that soap out of there. And then your piece is going to come out looking like this. And then number 3, or where are we at? 3 or 4? I can't remember. I would also make sure you pour the mold all the way to the top, so you don't risk chopping your mold up like I did, because resin is really sharp on the ends there. And while you're twisting it and pulling, trying to get it out, it's cutting your silicone mold. So we learned a lot here today. I hope this will help someone else out in deciding what they want to do moving forward. Also, right quick before I go, I do want to mention this because I don't want to lie to anyone or mislead anyone. On this glass cupcake right here, I don't know if I can pick it up, but I do want you to notice, if you look around that rhinestone there, you can see a little bit of the glue where they glued it, and you can see it on the glass. Not all of them are like that, but a few of them are. So I do want to mention that, because that is going to transfer over into your silicone mold, which would be any mold that you get from me. If I'm going to make your cupcake mold, it's going to have that. There's no getting around that. It's not on all of them, like I said, but it is on some of them. Now, it doesn't show as much. It's not as pronounced on the resin piece, because I guess because it's plastic and this is glass, but it is there. I don't know if you can see it. And y'all know I'm very picky. I notice everything in a mold. So I did want to mention that. Like I said, I don't want to be misleading about it, and I don't want you to be shocked if you buy one and you get it and you see that. So yeah, just wanted to let you know. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends. Hello, my friends. Are y'all ready to do the giveaway for the beautiful intoresin handmade diamond magnolia piece? We have 3 pieces here. The first one is this beautiful light pink and dark pink magnolia. Turned out gorgeous. Then we have for number 2, this is the very first one that I done, and it's the Mississippi magnolia. And it has the glass on the bottom. That's why you see that white strip there, because there are real glass pieces right down there. And then number 3 is this beautiful yellow one that I done. And it's also ombre'd. There's a light yellow in the center, and then I brought a deeper yellow on the outer skirts of the flower. So that's number 3. Number 1, number 2, number 3. We are going to have to use my picker wheel because there's too many of you. There's 93 of you that entered, and I only have 70, 71, 72, or 73 bingo balls, so we couldn't do bingo. I know bingo's y'all's favorite. It's my favorite too, but we just had too many to play it, so we're going to have to do the picker wheel. But I do want to say something right quick to my subscribers. Thank you for being a blessing in my life. I want to take a moment and let you know how much you are appreciated. You are true angels to me, and I am more than grateful to you than words can express. Few people possess the considerate, unselfish, loving heart that you have, and even fewer are willing to give so much of themselves. I thank you for your kindness, and for being the wonderful, amazing person you are. And I am blessed to have you as part of my channel. So let's get started. Are you ready? I'm super excited to see who's going to win. Okay, when I click spin, it's going to go ahead and fall on our first winner. There are 93, so I have it right here. Are you ready? Let's go. Oh, who is it? Number 30. Ooh, we got a really, one of the first numbers entered. Let's see who number 30 is. Number 30 is Robin Easter, 5216. Robin Easter, 5216. You are the winner, my friend. So you get to pick one of these beautiful intoresin handmade crystal castings. This is number 1, the pink on pink. This is number 2, the Mississippi Magnolia. This is number 3, the yellow, light yellow and dark yellow. So let me know which one you choose. And I got a surprise today. I'm just feeling like a giver today. So how about we choose one more winner, my friends? Maybe I'll get stuck with the Mississippi Magnolia. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care who chooses it. I can make me another one. Y'all have at it. Whichever one you want, snag it. But we're going to choose another winner. So here we go. I'm going to remove number 30. Sorry, Robin, you can't win twice. So we're going to remove that choice. And we're going to spin again. Good luck, my friends. It doesn't have any sound because there's an ad playing down below. 59. Number 59. Let's see who that is. I get so excited doing this. Let's see. Number 59 is Miss Kathy Wilson, 8005. Miss Kathy Wilson, 8005. You are my second winner, my friend. So, when I hear from Robin and she chooses which one she wants, Kathy, I will let you know if you email me so I can have your email address. I'll let you know which two are up for grabs after Robin chooses, and then you can pick the one you want, okay? So make sure you get in touch with me. If you don't, I will give you 5 days to claim your prize. If you do not claim it in 5 days, I will get the picker wheel back out and we'll roll it again. All right? Thank you all for entering. This was so much fun. As always, we have a blast. And congratulations to my winners. Easter, Miss Robin Easter, and Miss Kathy Wilson. Sorry, I couldn't remember that. Give me a break, y'all. All right, I will see you later.